Are you a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
Hold on a sec. I just
National
want
Pornographic says it.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
The whales have a 15-foot penis. I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
Are you a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
Hold on a sec. I just
National Pornographic says it.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
The whales have a 15-foot penis. I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15
Are
what?
you a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
Hold on a sec. I just
National Pornographic says it.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15 what?
The whales have a 15-foot penis. I didn't cut out. You heard me. Google it yourself. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
I'm sorry, Ken. You cut out there. They have a 15
Are you
what?
a pervert or something? Okay. The whales have a 15-foot penis.
What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? Tonight, we have a woman that is totally confused by the fact that atheists exist. She doesn't know why we don't believe in God. She's got so many reasons as to why you should believe in God, and it utterly flabbergasts her that that atheists don't believe in a God. So we're going to find out what her questions are, why she thinks we should believe in God, and see if they're convincing. Spoiler alert, they're not. So, if you want to know why this woman is asking, why don't atheists believe in God? Then please stay tuned. All right, but first, I got some announcements, and then we're going to get into Today I Learned. First off, next Friday, we are not going to have a stream, but I may do a call-in show on that Saturday. Not exactly sure yet. So just I'll let you guys know next week if that's going to even happen. But we will be having a live stream on the very first of the year. I think that's Friday. Yeah, that's the Friday after next, January 1st. So definitely tune in after Christmas for the very first live stream of this year. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get to the Today I Learned. It's beautiful, huh, honey?
It was lovely.
Mm-hmm. I'm the next Garth Brooks.
No.
What?
No.
I feel like I am. Anyways, so first on Today I learned that African elephants often bury dead or sleeping humans or aid them when they are hurt. One woman fell asleep under a tree and woke to find an elephant standing over her, gently touching her. As other elephants arrived, they buried her under branches. She was found the next morning unharmed. That's got to be kind of weird, because I don't know if they're doing it because of showing reverence, or maybe they're like, this is really just kind of a black mark on the community. It's driving down these planes prices over here, so we're just going to cover this shit up. Kind of like Adam Sandler and Big Daddy. We're just going to put some newspapers over this shit and just pretend like it's not there. I don't know what reason they do this for, but apparently they do it. See, next on Today I Learned, people's tears act as a magnet for our visual attention, finds a new eye tracking study. Emotional tears act as unique signals that can trigger changes in an observer's behavior, Crying is a deeply human behavior that may have several functions, including signaling the need for help or making your parent feel like shit because you're disciplining them. Either way, it could be integral to our evolution.
Did you also know that female tears have a chemical in them that turns men off?
Female tears turn men off?
Yeah, there's a chemical in female tears that make men not be aroused, apparently.
That's weird because I definitely know that there's some porn where that is the exact opposite effect.
I read it somewhere.
Don't lick women tears, I guess. But so sorry, Daniel M. I meant to say this at the very beginning. Hi, David, and I hope you have a good night there, bud. I know he's probably already in bed, but so sorry about that. Then we got Uhan Roderick who says, "Oh God, another crazy lady." Yes. Uhan also said, "I prefer magateers." Yummy. All right, let's get to the final Today I Learned before we get into the comments.
Randy Wilson said, "Today I learned Godless Engineer is my favorite YouTube channel."
Randy Wilson said that?
Yeah.
Awesome, Randy. I'm so glad. Yeah, I see that. Thank you so much for those high praises. You know, I made Ray Comfort almost vomit one time. That's what you just admitted to, that bit being your favorite, because that's all part of me making apologists vomit. All right, next we have Today I Learned the Three Stooges performed at the very first Super Bowl halftime show. During their performance, Larry Fine spotted a football player hitting on his wife. He flipped him the bird, and for this he got in trouble with CBS and had to pay a fine of $42.50. How much? What do you think the fine is for that one Super Bowl thing with Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake?
I mean, I don't know.
They probably both had to pay $45 million for offending the Christians. But that's kind of funny. He's up there performing, football players hitting on your wife, and all he does is, "Fuck you, buddy." And I don't know. I feel like the $42.50 would have been worth it, especially for a Three Stooges guy. Like one of the Three Stooges, he could he probably wipes his ass with that in the mornings or something. I don't know. I don't know what rich people do. I'm not rich.
Randy Wilson said, "I prefer my YouTubers vomiting on others." There's gotta be a Brazzers channel for that.
I'm fairly certain there is definitely a Brazzers, Pornhub, or some kind of fetish website out there where you can get vomiting on YouTube cosplayers or something. Huh? A new member, Lee Spanner. What's up? Welcome to the Mafia. All right, so this tweet is actually really, really hot off the presses. It happened today. And
Last night.
was it last night?
It was last night.
Oh, last night. Sorry, not today. Last night.
All sense of time is gone.
Yes, yes, honey, I agree. All sense of time is gone. We are living in our own personal hells.
Thanks. Damn. I love you too.
No. I love you, honey. But this guy, Rad, I don't know if he's a troll or what, but this tweet was deleted by Twitter nearly immediately. And he goes, "Godless Engineer, I will pay to fight you tonight. I promise to never share anything with anyone. Fully off the record, I simply wish to knock you out. Fully believe you are what you are because you've never been punched in your face."
That's actually not true, is it?
Actually, no, I have been punched in the face. Yeah. Sorry, I had to think back a bit. That's not where he stopped, though.
But wait,
There's more. And I accidentally rotated it in the little browser things. Okay, here we go. He continues. You, my friend, are the perfect representation of everything wrong with modern American men. Made Ray Comfort nearly vomit. And the representation of everything wrong with American men. Stunning reviews, I'm telling you. I will knock you out and liberate your bitch ass. I feel like that needs to end with a Uhan Roderick says, bruh needs a hug. I feel like that could be a line in a rap song about this tweet. Bruh needs a hug. I don't know how to rap. And then he ends it with, you state husband too. She states allegedly wife, storybook simp. So mine's serious, and Casey's is a bit funny considering some events that have occurred in 2019. I won't get into it, but it's just that particular thing is like a sarcastic type of deal where we're making fun of the idea that we're not married in some kind of fashion. So no, not storybook simp. But in any case, I would do anything for my lovely wife. So if that makes me a simp, I'm perfectly fine wearing that label, I guess. You know what I forgot to do before the fucking stream is this little shit right here.
Turn your camera on?
No, my camera's on. I just forgot to darken it a little bit. I was getting a really big glow. I look like the moon almost. It looks a little bit better now. All right, so next we need to move on because the video tonight's kind of long. I'm gonna need to play a bunch of it in order to get through it. Here we go. Here's your drunken rant. Your argument boils down to, there is no evidence because I say so. I am not impressed. Evidence does not need to convince you. Evidence is just evidence. Truth is not determined by your own will. You make claims about possibilities without any evidence stating it's even possible. He needs to describe to the audience who Christ is. No, the writer does not. Christ is another name for the Messiah. That is common knowledge even back then. Paul never calls Peter an apostle? That really means nothing other than Paul indeed did meet Peter and James, brother of Jesus. It's important that they described who James specifically was, otherwise the phrase son of, father of, brother of has no meaning unless the person is it's attached to is someone well known. You have some bad logic, my friend. It's simply Aristotelian deductive reasoning to come to simple conclusions. Occam's razor. Good try, but you failed. So let's go through this a little bit here. I'm not saying that I determine what is the truth. I'm saying that I'm just not personally convinced by something. I'm not claiming to know whether or not Jesus has existed. In fact, I just say he probably didn't exist, but I don't ever claim to know whether or not he did or didn't. So I'm not making any kind of truth claims there. So that entire first part's kind of meaningless. The describing to the audience, that's where I was talking about Josephus needing to describe what a Christ is. And considering that Josephus was writing to a Roman audience that would not be familiar with Jewish terminology for things, which the Christ and all that kind of Messiah stuff would not specifically Jewish, but the Christos or Christ word would need to be explained to the audience that Josephus was writing to. So that's why that's important and why he's full of shit. I also never said that Paul never called Peter an apostle. He never called Peter a disciple. In fact, Paul never uses the word disciple. So the brother of the Lord thing we've already gone over and everything like that. It's pretty stupid. And then, of course, he rides off on his high horse at the very end. So whenever somebody does that, I mean, I feel like I can just disregard their entire comment as being condescending shit show.
So, in
Yeah?
response to the last comment, Mithridates, I think 6 said he could have saved some time and just have written, "I've never satisfied a woman."
Yeah. Let's see. Uhan Roderick said, "Are you actually engineers, though?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we are. And then Michelle Foster says, "I just burped and it made more sense than most Christians' arguments." Quentin Van Boopman says, "Just my weekly tithe." Thank you there, Quentin. I appreciate it. Dave Lee says, "Christ is another name for the, I think you meant Messiah?
No, Mariah.
For the Mariah. All I want for Christmas is no." Here, yeah, I know. Here, I think I need. Hold on one second, guys. I need to do this.
Oh, really?
Here you go, babe.
Thank you so much. Hi, y'all.
Yeah, just try to speak up whenever you look this direction and talk.
Oh, okay, all right.
Or you could listen to 1 Timothy or 2 Timothy, what the fuck ever. You know the deal.
Usually only Brocephus tells me that because you know better.
Yeah, I do. That's why I said, or it's your choice. Okay? I'm leaving it up to you. Simeon said, "Death." All right, this is a YouTube account called Atheism Kills. It says, "I need evidence that atheism is correct. Can you convince me?" I don't care. I don't care if you think atheism is correct. Me nor any atheist that I've heard has ever asserted that atheism is correct. We've asserted that the Bible's bullshit and not historical, and all of the gods that we already have definitions for are not are not substantiated by reality, that kind of thing. We never make the claim that atheism is correct. So yeah, maybe try rephrasing your question in a different way. You're not going to get anybody to try to convince you of that, because we don't really give a fuck.
Well, they're making the claims. They should provide the evidence. If they can't provide the evidence, I'm sorry, I just don't believe you.
Right, I agree. They are the ones making the claims. We are not the ones making the claims. Jesse Shodel. I'm going to read this one. "You think if Jesus came back today, he'd wonder why everyone was wearing that thing used to execute him around their necks?" Yeah.
You need a better question song.
I do. Yeah, so that would be a pretty good question there, Jesse. I think that he would definitely have some PTSD from it, maybe. But then again, he's a god figure, and like that little bit of pain for the little bit of time that he was in. I mean, he really didn't seem all that affected by it after he resurrected from the dead. I'm just saying. All right, so next is 90% of Nobel scientists convinced in God. Okay, so they say, "Christianity is different and unique like no other. It's different than all the other pagan religions in the world. A unique story different than others." It's kind of weird how like the story is copied from other older stories, though.
For
No.
those in the back, it's not.
Yeah, it's not. Well, I shouldn't say copied. I need to be very specific about this, because they weren't copied. They were influenced by earlier stories that sound exactly the same. And so basically the early Jews were like, "Oh, hey, we can have this too, and ours will be better."
Oh, I just meant it's not unique.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not unique.
Yeah, it's not unique at all.
We got Lisa for Truth, who says Jesus was supposed to come back before the last disciple died. Why aren't we in paradise? Then we wouldn't be atheists. I would agree. I think at that point I probably wouldn't be an atheist, because I'd admit God exists. Definitely wouldn't suck his dick, though.
Lisa, I don't know where you've been. It's 2020. Aren't we all in paradise?
Oh, that's all. That's all the comments. I didn't even do the comment song. Fuck, I'm so off tonight. All right, well, y'all know what's next?
Shitty ass science.
Yeah.
Shitty ass science. We're gonna answer some science shit really wrong.
What's she laughing at?
Well, I mean, I saw you go down and then come back.
Yeah, no, I sprung forth out of the eternal springs of our Lord.
Oh, is that what you did?
I did. I went, rah! I came back like, not exactly like Jesus, but something kind of similar to it. Rah! I didn't die or anything. I just kind of woke up. I was curled up underneath GE's desk here. All right, so what do we got today?
It's not alarming at all.
How did evolution create owls out of trees? Or did God create this nightmare? Well, good thing I didn't make this image, because it's not really nightmarish, other than, I don't know, the eyes are kind of creepy. All right, so listen, here's how evolution would have done it. You know how owls sometimes will fly smack right into a tree? Well, in this particular instance, an owl flew straight into a tree and its dick went inside the bark, and then poof, out pops an owl tree baby. Okay, and that's how trees can be used with owls to make tree owls. Owl tree. Wooden living owls. Now, I don't know what you call them things, but that's how they get there. Now, if God did it, just to cover my bases, because God created everything, of course, why did he create this nightmare? Well, obviously, so that he can spy on you from everywhere. If he makes owls out of trees, then you won't be able to see them, and they're like little security cameras for God. They're wooden security cameras for God. They look out and they see people sinning so that God can be like, oh, yep, I saw you. You was masturbating last Thursday to that dirty fucking porn. I saw it, and you're going to hell for it unless you suck my dick.
Are you high?
No, I'm not high, but I am.
Because that kind of paranoia only comes from pot.
I don't think so. I don't think that comes from pot. I think that comes from being high on Jesus. Oh, let's praise the Lord. All right, well, that's it for me today, guys. I mean, it was pretty simple. God created it as little surveillance cameras, or nature ran that motherfucker straight into a tree and popped out some owl tree babies. So, either way you go about it, it's pretty fucking scary. Nature's scary, y'all. I'm gonna go. I'll see y'all later. Hold on. We gotta keep the illusion up here. 1 second. Fuck me. I don't know where he went. He's definitely not underneath the table.
Is he not?
Nope. So,
Did he disappear back into his eternal spring?
yeah, he did. He did disappear back into his eternal spring. Just to piss you off. In any case, so yeah, this owl thing is it's a pretty cool shot. And I gotta admit, I like it. What was it? 8:25 my time, 5 minutes before we were going live. I was like, fuck, I don't have a good shitty ass science. And then I found this image. I'm like, shit, I need a good question. And so I did the evolution one. And I'm like, it feels like it needs more. And so I was like, did God create this nightmare? Obviously, God created this nightmare. No, I mean, it's a cool shot, and evolution's pretty awesome for being able to shape organisms like this, or natural selection, giving them camouflage and everything like that. It's pretty cool. If you want a good example of evolution, in action, or natural selection in action too, this would be a pretty good example to show somebody, except for Kent Hovind. He doesn't believe anything that's rational.
He believes in whale penis.
Yes, honey, he does believe in whale penis. How's my sound tonight, guys? I hope my sound's fine. I hope it's not like too loud. I got it turned down a little bit. I just hope it's not peaking too much when I'm screaming and shit. Okay, so y'all ready for the response video? You ready, honey?
I'm so ready.
Yeah, I forgot to size this up.
Another vertical video.
Technical difficulties with G. All right, here we go. So, let's say I don't have the video in the description, but I will try to remember to get it in there, which I usually don't, but I'll do my best. She has a question about why atheists don't believe in God. She's got a few questions. And so we're here to lend her a hand. She asked for some help and trying to understand. I think that she's being sincere, but we're gonna find out. Yes, honey, she did just say from her bathroom. Why is your studio?
You're muted.
No, I unmuted.
Oh.
I should be.
Something. Oh, they can't hear her. They couldn't
Oh,
hear her.
fuck! Here we go.
You might want to just start over.
Hi, this is Sweet June coming back at you from broadcasting from my bathroom.
Yeah, so I mean, for one thing, here's a little bit of advice. Don't shoot videos in your bathroom. I mean, I'm not trying to like make fun of you or anything. It's just a bad idea. All right?
She seems nice.
She seems nice. Another thing to note is always make sure the light is in front of you. That light behind you don't do shit, okay, except really drown you out in the white, like, of the light. So you can't really. That's why leaning back like that, we get a little bit better, I guess, shot of you. But like when you're leaned forward, it's just fucking white everywhere. So yeah, we got a couple super chats here. One from Jonathan Hanchek that says, "Logic, motherfucker! It's because of logic." And then Quentin says, "How much to get Bro Cephas to sing America Fuck Yeah with the uke?" He did do $5. Let me see if I can draw him up. I heard a request. Uke time. GE's the uke player, not me, but we'll see what I can do here. America, fuck yeah, coming to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America. I fucked this up. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Move on, adding $10 to the America Fund.
Thank you, Yvonne. And Quentin, that's $15. I can get. Oh, you know what? I bet you I could get me some vodka. I could get a whole bottle of vodka for that. Yeah, I've had to switch from vodka to vodka for a little bit. All right, I'm gonna go let G get back here. Maintain the illusion.
Right.
Quentin, I hope that was worth the $5. Quentin says, but the shine, I've also got shine, but the shine costs a little bit more money than $15. But that's fine. I'm fine with any. I mean, fuck, I'll drink Bud Light. You've seen it. All right, let's get back to the video. There's a lot of video to watch.
Very good lighting in here. Guys, like my little shelf I got behind me, my little shelf. You know, I gotta straighten it out and organize it again. But and I got my little babies up there. You guys can see it.
We don't want to see that. So don't show us.
up there. That's what I call them. And that's about the closest I'm going to come to babies. But I want to talk about, I was watching Walter Lee Hampton's video, and he was talking about the other day, I think he did that video yesterday. He's talking about, he was telling his mother, I guess because his mother is staying with him, and he, you know, he's out of Atlanta. He's got some good content on. He's funny. I mean, he's got good content. He was talking about his mother. He was telling his mother that he was talking about how spiritual his mother was, and you know, and he's I guess, you know, he's telling his mother that that he didn't want to hear about the Bible and all this stuff because this is an atheist house. That's what he said. He was telling his mom that this is an atheist house. And I was like,
well, I find it kind of weird to be like, this is an atheist house. Like, I don't know. I feel like that phrasing is weird. Like, if it's his house, he has the right to be like, listen, I want to hear about the Bible this year. I mean, I'd rather not be exposed to that. Can we just not talk about it? Like, I'm just saying, like, the whole concept of this is an atheist house just seems a little odd to me. But anyways.
I don't understand how people cannot believe in the Bible. I just don't understand. After he said that, I was like, I don't understand how people cannot believe in God.
Okay, I can explain it to you. Most of us, I would say, have thoughtfully considered our position on whether or not we believe a God to exist. And we've come to the conclusion that we're not convinced whatsoever by the evidence that already exists, by the evidence, by the arguments, all the philosophical shit. We're just not convinced that he exists. So we live as though he doesn't, but we essentially don't believe he exists. So we're just simply not convinced by the evidence that we have. Just to put it plain and simple for you.
Not believe in the Bible, but not believe in God. I said, I don't get it. I don't understand how people cannot believe in God. And I've heard lots of other people say that they don't believe in God. They don't believe in Jesus. He's talking about Jesus doesn't exist. And I'm like, okay, if he doesn't, then prove it. They can't. See, they'll say that, but they can't prove it. See? And I'm not bashing him or anything.
Well, you see, here's the thing. The neutral position on this question of whether or not God exists is in the middle. It's between, yes, he exists, no, he doesn't. So you start in the middle, and so you have to prove either way. So, I mean... Well, if you're making a claim, if you're making a claim, you have to prove either way whether he doesn't exist or he does exist. Now, see, that's where the nuance comes in, is that atheists are not making the claim that God definitely doesn't exist. As far as like the ambiguous definition of a God, like the asshole God that just created everything and sat back and he's not doing anything, he doesn't have any kind of influence on this reality or on this world. He just let it go and he's just there, and there's no way that we could possibly prove that deity exists, at least right now. That's why we have to go to philosophical ways of figuring it out and shit. So if you're making a claim like you are doing right here, you have to prove one way or the other. I don't have to prove anything because I'm not making a claim. I'm just saying I don't believe in it. I'm essentially in the middle there. Like I don't know whether or not one exists, but I don't believe that one does exist. So you have to provide the evidence to prove that God exists, or at least beyond the shadow of a doubt that God exists. Not like 100% proof or anything like that. I'm just talking about more likely than not, God does exist. That's what you have to establish. It's not up to me to disprove you. But I mean, if you provide an argument, I can tell you why that argument does not support your conclusion. That's what I can do.
Because I like his content actually. But it's like he's not the only one. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say they don't believe in Jesus. A lot of people say they don't believe in God. And that's something I don't understand. I don't understand for the life of me why people don't believe in God. Because my thought was, how you think you waking up every day?
Good question. I'm glad you left me enough room there to actually provide you with some information here. And I need to put this in the description. I've got the links. My lovely wife there, KC, looked this up for me earlier tonight. So basically, brain chemicals, neurotransmitters. There are some neurotransmitters that keep you alert and awake, and they help wake you up. And then there's other neurotransmitters that, when they accumulate in your system, you become sleepy and tired. And so these neurotransmitters interact with your brain circuitry, and they cause this sort of sleep cycle. I believe it's called the circadian sleep cycle. There's a lot more stuff that goes into it, but that's basically it. That's the reason why you get tired during the day, is because your body has a buildup of these neurotransmitters, and it causes you to get tired and sleepy. Coffee, it works to block the receptors for those neurotransmitters that cause you to get tired. And that's why they keep you awake. Coffee, or caffeine, sorry, not coffee, but caffeine. That's why it keeps you awake. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't take God. It just takes a little bit of knowledge about brain chemistry to understand our sleep cycles. There's also this thing called the SNC. I'm not even going to try to pronounce,
I think it's SCN.
or SCN. Sorry, SCN. It's located in the hypothalamus, and it also helps control when we go to sleep, when we wake up, and everything like that. So I mean, you understand that it's just basic neurochemistry and biology. Just a basic understanding of those things will actually allow you to explain how we can wake up without the need for a God. Let's not go into the whole fact that you just brought up. Well, how do you wake up in the mornings without God?
I mean, God's never fucking woken me up.
Has God never woke you up, honey?
No.
Because saying that God wakes you up kind of has a lot of ramifications to it, right? That I don't think that she is necessarily, thinking about here.
What if God forgets you? Do you die?
Yeah, but that's one of the things. If you if you die in your sleep, then did God just forget to wake you up? Like, what happened there? If God controls when you wake up, those that sleep in, are they just, doing what God wants them to do? Or are they rebelling against God at that point? Like, they're saying, fuck off, God, you're not my alarm.
Snooze, bitch.
Snooze, bitch!
See, that's Satan coming out.
Yeah, that would be Satan. But like I said, I'm gonna have the links in the description here in a short second. Because like I said, I got them. I got all of the deets right here, and it's pulling up. See, if I don't do it right now, then I'm just going to forget later, and I don't want you guys to be without this kind of information. So I'm just going to put this in here real quick since Casey did all this lovely research for me. Thank you so much again, honey.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm
All
your
right.
helpmate.
Helpmate. All right. Let's get back into this video, shall we? Oh, if you refresh right now, you'll be able to find those links.
You really think you're waking up on your own every day? I wonder when people don't believe in God, do they think that they're waking up on their own?
Yes. I don't know why you think that God wakes you up. That's a question that I have.
Do they thinking they thinking in their mind, I guess it's time for me to wake up today. I guess I'll wake up. Doesn't work like that.
Well, true. You don't sit there and be, well, I mean, okay, I have found myself sitting there dazing in and out of sleep and being like, fuck, I need to get up for work at 7:30 in the morning. Which before the pandemic, I'd only sleep until about 5:30 in the morning, right? And then I'd have to get up and I'd have to do everything for the channel, and then I'd have to wake up KC, and then we would get ready, we'd go to work and everything like that. So before the pandemic, I had to get up really early. But yeah, I don't understand why you think that it's not the natural processes that our bodies go through that wake us up. I guess she would also consider other natural processes in our bodies to be controlled and governed by God.
How do you poop without God?
Bitch. Sorry, that was that was more aggressive than it should have been. Listen, I missed a couple super chats. I'm so sorry. Daniel M says, I'm also wondering if that guy said that because he heard this is a Christian house a lot. Maybe. Probably. That's actually a good explanation for that. Then there's Michelle Foster. She goes, so is it God's fault when I oversleep too? That a-hole. But let's just consider the ramifications of God being the one that wakes us up and God being in control of bodily processes, right? Because I could see the Christian argument of, well, God created those processes and they did all that. But what she's saying is that God actively makes a decision to wake us up in the mornings.
What about all the bad things?
Yeah. She gets into that too. But if you think about it, if you think about all the other processes that the body has, just take how we heal, like when wounds scab over and everything, does God control that process as well? Because if he does, and he makes that active decision for your body to heal itself or to scab over and grow new cells, instead of them being natural processes that just take place as part of what is the human body, then you're essentially saying that hemophiliacs have offended God, and God has said, fuck you, you're just going to bleed and barely clot, if at all. So, I mean, you have to think of the ramifications of using God as the explanation. What would be the explanation for hemophiliacs? What about these other blood-borne diseases? What about sickle cell anemia? What about, blood poisoning? Flatulence is God.
Why would he create flatulence? That's just not fair.
True. I feel like she's saying that from a position of whenever I fart, because apparently that peels the paint. And she's like, why, God? Why? Oh, man. All right.
We're not conscious of anything. When we're sleeping, we're not conscious of anything. When we're in a deep sleep, we're not conscious of anything. We don't know we sleeping. We're not conscious of anything. If you have dreams and you wake up, you can recall your dreams. But
Yeah, you don't recall all of your dreams, by the way. Like, that's not something that happens.
you're not conscious of what's going on around you. Like, I can go to sleep with the TV on, and if I'm not totally asleep, if I'm just half asleep, I can still hear the TV. But once I go into that, what they say REM phase, once I go into that deep sleep, that good juicy sleep, once I get into that sleep, I don't hear nothing.
Juicy sleep.
juicy sleep. You know, the one that's kind of squishy and shit.
Just so you know, that is a technical term.
Is it a technical term?
Juicy sleep.
Juicy sleep. We got a couple of super chats here. Well, first off, we got Spider the Ateo, who gave a super chat. Thank you so much for that. Then we got Jesse Shodel, who says, if God's in charge of biological processes, then my asthma and sore knuckles are entirely his fault. Screw him! Yeah, fuck you, God. There we go. Daniel M. says,
I think he meant God.
Oh. God also created the process of peeing a little when you sneeze too, don't you know?
Yeah, for any woman who's ever had a baby, that shit's just not fair.
Yeah. But yeah, so I get it that, you know, you're not there, like you don't, you're not thinking or anything like that. So I don't see how this pertains to as like proof of God. I did see Jane in the side chat saying that she's using it in a more philosophical way and metaphorical way than literally. And I really don't think that you can make that kind of decision based on what she's saying. Because I've literally heard people say that God is what literally wakes you up in the morning and everything like that.
Either way, she's wrong.
Yeah, I would agree. Either way, she's wrong about God's, I guess his influence or his ability to wake people up. So I guess maybe I've just got the wrong perspective on this, because I don't understand how it could be from a philosophical way that God wakes you up. Like, if I say that I wake KC up, I'm fucking shaking her awake in the morning, being like, "Get up! It's time for work! Fuck, we gotta go!"
I'm glad you don't wake me up like that.
But you understand? Like, I guess I just don't have the perspective that maybe a more religious person would.
I don't hear nothing. I don't hear nothing that's going on around me. You know. So once you get into that deep sleep, you don't hear nothing. You're not conscious. You're not conscious of anything.
Well, yeah, so I get that you're not conscious of anything, but your subconscious definitely consumes what you're, because Gesundheit.
Sorry.
You definitely it's not like you just stop hearing things, right? I mean, air pressure waves still are made, and your eardrum still reacts to those things. So I mean, obviously you're still consuming that information that you're getting from your eardrums.
Yeah, you can definitely hear.
Yeah, and I mean, your subconscious gets it, and sometimes that gets integrated into your dreams. Because I mean, I remember as a kid going to sleep listening to Kid Rock's "Ba with the Ba" and like having some strange dreams that night. So I mean, I feel like you saying that you're just completely shut off is a bit ignorant. Like you just don't understand everything that goes into like what happens when you go to sleep.
Michelle Foster just said, I renamed my alarm clock God.
So if you're not conscious of anything, how can you wake yourself up? So there's only one person that can wake you up, and that's God. He's the only one that can wake you up because you're not capable of waking yourself up. I said, does he think he doesn't really say he believes in God? So that means that what you think you waking yourself up every day? People that don't believe in God, they think they're waking themselves up.
Ignorant as fuck.
Yeah, this is pretty ignorant. No, I mean, I think that biological. See, this is why I'm confused, because the biological processes are not something that we actively think about. Like, I don't actively think about healing a scratch on my arm. I don't actively think about processing all of the different things that I put into my body when I eat and processing them into the nutrients that are contained with them, and then, you know, going through the normal shit process. I don't actively think about those things. Those would actually be things that are controlled by a specific portion of your brain that you don't necessarily control. So I mean, I'm very confused when you are by your confusion. I'm very confused by your confusion over the fact that we don't claim to be able to wake ourselves up, but we claim that biological processes, neurochemical processes are the things that control those things, not God. Uhan Roderick sent a super chat saying, "My name is Kid." He didn't put the rest of it. I'd probably get a copyright strike because I sound just like him. I know. Dave Lee.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dave Lee said, "Kid Rock will be 50 in January. Happy birthday, middle-aged rock." Ha 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 ha.
How do you think the sun got in the sky? Think they're waking themselves up? Or how do you think the sun got in the sky?
I need to be quiet. I feel bad, but this is crazy.
So there are definitely natural explanations for how stars form. We've been able to look out into the night sky and see how stars are formed. And I meant to look this up before coming on tonight, but I had a lot of shit going on. But let's see, how are stars formed? Common question. I mean, Google brings it right the fucketh up. Stars form from an accumulation of gas and dust, which collapses due to gravity and starts to form stars. The process of star formation takes around 1 million years from the time the initial gas cloud starts to collapse until the star is created and shines like the sun. So, gas clouds collapse. Like, we're not talking about, like I fart and that's a gas cloud. It's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about are these like huge, like astronomically huge gas clouds. They collapse and they form a star. So how did the star form? Gas clouds from God's farts, obviously.
This should be really helpful.
Yeah. Lisa for Truth says, "You're paralyzed in REM too?" So it's a good point. In REM sleep, I mean, you're pretty much dead to the world, but I don't think that proves anything, like you said. Here, Uhan did another super chat. "Ball with the ball, to bang, diggy diggy," said the boogie, said up, jump the boogie. I see myself going down the music rabbit hole after this. Next, you're going to be singing Chop Suey from System of a Down. All right.
Did the sun just magically appear one day? Don't give me that evolution of theory crap. I don't want to hear that.
Good, because I wouldn't say that evolution put it there. And
Also, that's what you believe.
right, that is what Christians believe, that the sun popped into existence out of literally nothing.
On the fourth day.
On the fourth day, by the way, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. How can you have days before the sun was there? Obviously, God was closing his ass and opening it up, and in perfect rhythm with sunlight, or well, not sunlight, but with the Earth's rotation. But I find it hilarious how you criticize us for saying, "Oh, it just popped, it just formed there one day, just." When the only difference between that and what you believe is that there is a magical wizard there to say a seance and create it. That's it. Just a wizard that's like, let there be light. And then it creates all the stars and everything like that. Like, you literally believe somebody said an incantation and the entire universe formed, including the sun, the earth, the dog that was licking its asshole, like, in the yard today. Not our yard. We don't have a dog. There's some neighbors that collect dog shit, though.
These people talk about the evolution of the evolutional theory. I don't want to hear that. There's no such thing as that. The stuff is all this stuff that with the clouds, the sun, the moon, the stars. At nighttime, you go outside, you look in the sky, and you see the stars. Who in the heck do you think put them stars there?
Did she go to elementary school?
I don't,
Because
probably.
they teach all of this to you in elementary school.
Yeah, they do. No, nobody put them there. They naturally formed there. There's a big difference. I feel like asking the question, who put the stars there? Who put the sun there? Who created that dick ass of a cat? Like, that is a leading question. Like, that's begging the question. Sorry, that's begging the question, because you're already assuming your answer that somebody had to create it. What if nobody did? What if nobody was there to create it and it just happened by natural processes?
There. They just didn't magically appear one day. God had to put them there. We got things that that there's no man, that it's not possible for man to create the sun or stars or anything like that. God had to put them there. That is the only way we got them. He had to put them there. So that's why I don't understand why people say they don't believe in God. How can you not believe in God?
Because we understand the processes that go into making stars, making the earth. We understand the processes that produce those things. We also understand that evolution is a real fucking thing. I wish I had my shirt. I forgot that this got brought up. I should have worn my evolution is a... By the way, evolution is a fact, because it is. So, I mean, you're just simply wrong that evolution isn't a thing when it really is. We have multiple lines of evidence to show that it is. But why is this the crux in you not understanding why atheists don't believe in God? We have explanations for these things. We don't need God to explain them. So where does God come into the equation other than you think we need God in order to explain these things? We had another super chat from Big Sky Pioneer saying, have to give it up for GE not choking on his drink just now. Side question, where did God come from? That's a good fucking question. My guess is, huh?
Does she think that God created himself? himself?
Yeah, did God create himself? I need a bit more drink. Ugh.
Understand it. I don't understand how they don't believe in God. How can you not believe in God? I mean, why do you think you even exist in the first place?
Okay. So, one day my mom and my dad boned. And then stuff happened that I don't want to go into. And then I was born roughly 9 months later, on November 23rd, by the way. So, how did I come to be? Natural processes of the human body, just like sleep, just like healing myself, just like any other thing happens with our bodies and our existence. Natural fucking processes.
In the first place, you use mom and dad as a vessel to bring you here. Mom and dad was the vessel to bring you here, but God is the one that put you here. He's the one that brought you here.
Is God contained in the balls? Is that where it's like is God in the balls and God is in the vagina? Like, is that it? I don't understand what she means by we are the vessels and but God put us here. If God put us here, then we wouldn't need to fuck in order to reproduce. Like that, just like sexual reproduction in general wouldn't be a thing. People would just show up pregnant one day. Just wake up one day and it's like, oh shit, pregnant again. Guess God wants me to have another one. I don't know what you mean by we are just the vessels for which God to shove his dick through the man's ass and then impale him through his dick in order to, I guess, get laid? Is that what happens? Like, how does this process happen here? Because, like, we have an explanation for how fucking produces another person, right? We understand that. What I don't understand is why fucking is needed, but God is the one that creates us.
Brought you here. You know, I don't understand it. I just don't understand how people cannot believe in God. I don't get it. When people say they don't believe in God, they don't believe in Jesus. You know, I just don't get it. And they say Jesus doesn't exist. Okay, prove he doesn't exist.
Well, again, we're not making the claim that he doesn't exist. Other than, I mean, I do have the mythicist position, but that's still a belief that I have. Like, I don't believe him to have existed in history. I'm not sure if that's what you're talking about here, but also I feel like it's incumbent upon you saying that Jesus, whether that's a historical version of Jesus or a biblical version of Jesus, I feel like you need to be the one to provide evidence that shows that he exists. Now, I can substantiate the position that he probably didn't exist. And I do think it's incumbent upon me to prove that position if I'm making that claim. But if you're sitting there saying, why don't you believe in Jesus? You need to disprove that he existed. That's not exactly how that conversation would go. For one thing, and I want to make this clear, nobody should have a conversation with a general Christian like I feel this woman is about mythicism or along the topic of mythicism, like saying that Jesus didn't exist. The only thing that's really relevant as far as that discussion goes is whether or not the Jesus of the Bible is real or whether or not Jesus is the Son of God. I think either or he did all these magical things. I think that is a more pertinent thing. So if you're talking about the biblical Jesus, I agree. He definitely doesn't exist. There's multiple ways you can prove that, but I also feel like if you're saying that he does exist, you also shoulder a burden of proof in proving that he does exist. So just a little, I mean, you had the same problem before with the God question, so just reiterating it here.
They can't prove it. See, they can't prove it. So, I mean, or they're basing it on probably on something that they read that's it's not substantiated.
Don't you fucking talk to me about not being substantiated. You have spent nearly 8 minutes making unsubstantiated claims about how God wakes our ass up and puts the sun in the sky, as well, and puts babies in us. You've made all these unsubstantiated claims, no evidence whatsoever to show that you're correct. You just say that these are the facts of reality with nothing underneath them to support them. Don't talk to me about being unsubstantiated.
Because people at the end of the day, they believe what they want to believe. Some people say, well, I'm not Christian. I'm not exactly sure as to why people don't believe in God. I wonder if it's because of religion. I wonder it's because there's a lot of false religions out here. And so
I feel like the fact that you don't think that your own religion could possibly be false is sort of a red flag that should make you question whether or not it is. At least, that wasn't a flag for me when I was a Christian, but it really should have been.
And there's lots of false religions out here. And
another point to make on the whole false religion thing is what makes your religion so special? Like, I mean, I don't see Christianity being very much different from any of the other religions that exist now, or any of the religions that have existed in the past. So, I mean, I just don't see your religion as being all that special. Yeah.
Because he said his mom used to be a Jehovah's Witness. And he doesn't, needless to say, he not down with Jehovah's Witness. But he didn't say anything in this video about his mom being a witness. He said she used to back in the day. So I don't know if she still is or, but I don't know if people get, upset about religion, and because they get upset about religion, because people have had bad experiences with different religions, and sometimes people have bad experiences with different religions, and they say that they don't believe in God because they have bad experiences with religions.
Well, it's not primarily about having the bad experience. Sure, the bad experience is probably what started the journey for them, but it's not like, I had this bad experience with a pastor, now I'm an atheist. It's not like just this one instance and then boom, automatically it's like you, oh, fuck God, kind of thing. It doesn't happen like that. Like, it's a very slow and gradual process of investigating what you believe and why you believe it. And I think that it's something that everybody should do, regardless of what side you come out on, because I'm friends with Christians and I'm friends with atheists. And if Muslims didn't hate me so much, I would be friends with them too. But the fact is that it's never just one thing that really, just immediately flips somebody into an atheist. It's a gradual process, and there might be something that eventually gets them to be like, yeah, I guess I'm an atheist. To disregard everything that leads up to that point is just very obtuse. and kind of makes you look like an asshole a little bit. Daniel M has a super chat. Boom! I was going to mention on this that it may only be just one of the dominoes in the long line. Exactly.
I don't know. I'm not exactly sure as to why people don't believe in God. Because, or the bad things that's happening in the world, they blame God for. Never blame Satan. They don't never blame the devil. But they always blame God for it. The bad things that happens in the world, they think it's God's fault. And I mean, maybe that's why, and they think, well, all the suffering that's going on in the world, they wonder why God doesn't stop it, and there's so many different reasons why there's suffering in the world.
So yeah, she is stuck on repeat just a little bit, but she does have unique content interspersed throughout here. So the argument for evil, I don't like to use like that exactly. I like to bring up the fact that a lot of shitty shit happens when somebody gives me some kind of bullshit line of God is good all the time and all the time. God is good. This like whenever there's an omnibenevolent claim, I try to point out that like, look, you can't make that claim, but also like kids get bone cancer and shit. Like that kind of shit right there just really doesn't, it doesn't factor for me whatsoever. I can't square those two things, right? It just doesn't make any kind of fucking sense to me. Why don't we ever blame Satan? Because we don't believe in Satan. We don't believe in Satan, but we also don't believe in God, so we don't think that God causes any of the bad shit. In fact, most of the time, it's Christians who claim that God does some bad shit. Because it's Christians that say that God caused tornadoes to destroy all the same places that tornadoes destroy every single year because of gays. Or maybe that's hurricanes with Louisiana and Florida and all this other stuff. The autism, I've heard there's a video on this channel of a woman saying that autism is caused by God for retribution for like various things like abortion, gays fucking each other in the ass, or scissoring or something like that. I don't know. But it's always been Christians that have blamed God for bad shit that has happened. That's primarily because of what their Bible says. Because in the Bible, if you read the Old Testament and you go through it, you will understand that God is a sadistic motherfucker who will not even bat an eye to send a fucking burning plague of locusts to eat your flesh off your bones or some shit. Or do some other kind of weird, crazy shit in order to punish you. All right. So why does evil exist in the world on a Christian worldview? I would have to point my finger at God, because Satan is said in the New Testament to be the ruler of this world, but he's only the ruler of this world because God allows him to be, right? If God's all powerful, he could stomp that shit out quick. So God would, by default, have to allow Satan to exist and rule over this world. Any way you go about it, it's still God that's doing it in a Christian worldview. In an atheist worldview, that is not a factor. We understand like happenstance, we understand coincidence, we understand these things. We understand that there's a chain reaction of events that lead to an event. Like, we understand these things. We don't blame God. I got my 10,000 steps in today. Also, honey, could I get a little bit of a refill here? What?
The one I made you before was like super extra.
It was super extra?
Well, yeah, it was half vodka.
It was half vodka?
Yeah.
What's 750 divided by 2? 375?
Sure. Do you want the same thing?
Yeah.
Before?
Mm-hmm.
in the world. A lot of it is caused by man. A lot of the reason why there's suffering in the world is because of man. Because of what man is doing. So that's not God. He gives us free will. We could choose to do right or we could choose to do wrong. So it's man's reason. It's the reason why it's man that's causing all this harm.
Okay, if it's man that's causing all the harm, then God is still allowing it to happen. I mean, you can allow somebody to have free will, but step in and punch them in the face at the last second. Like, if there's a priest about to diddle a kid, why can't Jesus pop in, punch him in the dick, and then pop out? That's not removing any kind of free will from the pedophile. That's not preventing him by entering his heart or some shit and causing him to, make a different decision. It's literally just popping into existence, being like, "What's up, bitch?" Power punching him in the dick to where it's broke, and then he leaves. He Batman's out of there, like. Yes. Also, don't diddle kids. Public serve. Hold on. When I get a little tipsy, I start singing a lot. Don't public service announcements with GE. So yeah, you could say that man causes it, but I still think that it's ultimately up to God allowing it to happen. And also, God has definitely stopped things like that happening in the past. He's definitely punished the Israelites and the Judeans. We're going over that in our Daily Bible Podcast, which you can reach now by going to thedailybiblepodcast.com. Go there and you can get access to all of the different platforms that's on. We're going through Jeremiah right now. Jeremiah. We're going through the prophet Jeremiah right now. It's a long-ass book, but we're getting through it, and it seems to be the same thing every single time. God's pissed off, and he's going to punish people because they've been doing bad shit that he doesn't like. So it's fairly obvious that God has no problem with, one, allowing people to do bad shit, but also to punish those people, and we just have not seen that happen.
So it's not God. It's either man or Satan that's doing it. Because you can't blame Satan for everything either, because people do what they want to do, or people do what they want to do. So you can't blame Satan for everything.
Okay, well then, why do some people claim that some people are demon possessed then? Or if bad shit, how do you? Here's my question, tapping into a little bit of the street epistemology. How do you discern between a demon or Satan doing something or causing something to happen, and man just being the shit that he is? How do you differentiate between? How can you tell when it's one or the other? That would be my question to her right now. I don't know how you make that determination, or maybe you just kind of throw it up into the air and it's one of these two things. I don't know which one. I have no criteria for determining which one. So obviously, blah. But also, I would love to know how you know that God definitely isn't doing it, considering what's in the Bible. And have you even read your Bible, really? And I don't mean selected verses, from what your pastor tells you to read, or your priest, or elder, huh?
Just read the whole thing.
Yeah, just read the whole thing, front to back. Don't read King James Version; you won't understand it. I would pick up like the NIV or the ESV is a good one too. Although I've come to find out that most versions are actually copyright protected. And so they're just not freely out there. There are a number of them that are freely out there, but just the popular versions, Christians got to make that bank on, because it's not like Jesus preached against, being greedy and rich and shit.
For everything. But it's not God he doesn't cause bad things to happen. We serve a loving God, so he doesn't cause bad things to happen.
I disagree. Like I said, all throughout the Old Testament, he definitely caused bad things to happen. Right now in Jeremiah, I believe, God is telling Jeremiah about how foreign entities are going to come and kidnap the Israelites and the Judeans and enslave them and essentially disband them from the Holy Land that God promised them. And so, like, this is all in a prophecy, and it eventually comes true. God does a number of horrible things to people and causes a number of horrible things to happen. I believe it's Isaiah 45, some fucking number. Isaiah 45. Let's see. The one that's like, I create light and I create dark. I do good and I do evil, or something like that. 7. Isaiah 45:7. I formed the light. Let me get my booming preacher voice on. I form the light and create darkness. I bring prosperity and create disaster. I, the Lord, do all of these things. I don't really know if that's very representative, but we're gonna go with that.
You know, and so I don't know if they think it's because all the terrible things happen in the world that God, you know, is supposed to intervene every time something bad happens in the world. And so I'm not exactly sure. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think as to why people do not believe in God. I just don't understand for the life of me why people don't believe in God. Because when you look at all our different species of animals,
evolution. I mean, that's really all I got to say about that. There's a scientific process, or the scientific theory of evolution, the process of evolution, natural selection. And then you've got God just creating shit out of nothing. Poof. With a magical incantation. Donkey. Parasite that lives in your eyes and eats your eye juices.
Jesus Christ.
That's a real thing.
I know, but like, damn.
you look at all the different species of animals. You cannot convince me of anybody else that would have created all these different species of animals other than God. When you go to these different countries and you see all the beautiful waters and the beautiful sands and the trees. And
look at the trees! That's something that Braxton Hunter has really taken up as like a thing that he supports and he puts out there. Like, he's like, it's actually a really good argument. Look at the trees! Oh man, I feel like I'm dying watching this. But yeah, so again, you're begging the question by saying who created these things, not like what process or how did these things come into existence, or how were these things not created, but how did these things form? Like, how did things come to be this way? That would be the appropriate question here, not who created them. Fucking nobody. What do you want me to say? Goddamn scientists in a fucking lab somewhere squirted 2 bottles together and went, and then boom, an iguana appears out of nowhere. No, that's what your God does, except minus the chemicals and just add a little bit of this right here and went, and then sheep. Of course, after that in the Garden of Eden, Adam tried to fuck all the animals. Couldn't find that he could fuck them and reproduce, so God decided to take a rib out and create a woman. Totally reasonable.
The crazy thing is, our 5th grader can explain these things.
Yes, our 5th grader can explain these things, honey. So we got a couple super chats. One from Daniel M that says, Daniel M says, I can hear my dog snoring all the way in the kitchen. Boom! God.
And the trees and all these beautiful places. How do you think they got there? Jehovah God had to put it there. It just didn't magically appear.
That's what you think, though.
So wait, she called him Jehovah God. I'm wondering if this person's a Jehovah's Witness. I mean, I feel like it would be incredibly odd for a Jehovah's Witness woman to be putting up a video.
Well, Fran Wilson in the chat said because she's a JW, she would be shunned for learning these things. Maybe she is a JW.
Yeah, somebody else is noticing it. Yeah, she's a JW. When Jehovah God, like that right there clued me in. Jehovah's Witness. Obviously, none of this is going to get through to her.
All the different insects and some on which we hate. Different animals and stuff. I mean, come on. It had to be God. It had to be God. How can you not believe in God? And the sun. Who put it there? God had only one person that could have put it there, and that was God. And all the beautiful trees, and I just don't understand how people don't believe in God. It just baffles me when people say that. And you think you just living on your own, you living on your own accord, you waking up on your own accord, you breathing on your own, you're not.
You see, this is why it's very confusing to me when we talk about how she thinks that God literally wakes us up. Trying to explain it with a more metaphorical, philosophical God wakes us up. Like, God is not the one helping me breathe at this moment. Like, this is a natural process that's going on. Unless you mean that God is the one that created our bodies and therefore is the reason why we can breathe or something like that. That's really an indirect way of getting there. I still am failing to understand any kind of way that God is helping me breathe or wake up in the morning or something like that. It's just more bullshit to pile on. Jane Pusecker says it would help if she used a brain and studying things, learning new things. It's not wrong. By the way, happy holidays, and here's $20 to get something extra for Christmas dinner. Love you both. Thank you so much there, Jane. I really appreciate you being part of the Skeptic Mafia, especially considering that you yourself are a Christian. I'm surprised you put up with my foul-mouthed ass. I mean, most Christians are like, oh, what? He said fuck? Oh, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Yeah, I agree. But it's still, I really appreciate you being here, Jane.
We're not doing anything on our own. It's because of God while we wake up. It's because of God while we're breathing. So it's like another thing. I think, well, in terms of people think that this is all there is. They think that this is all there is. And that there's no afterlife. They don't believe in the afterlife. And they think that this is all there is. And this is not all there is. This is short. This is temporary. This is short. The life in this system is short.
Citation fucking needed, please. Can you prove to us that life is continuing after we die? Can you prove to us that there exists this paradise after we die? Can you prove that nothing happens after we die? Can you prove any of this? I mean, you seem to think that atheists have unsubstantiated claims about how the sun gets here, how we wake up in the morning, how we breathe, how trees got here, how plants and animals got here. But yet all you do is just baselessly assert these things, how they got here and all of this other shit. So I don't really understand why you can get away with not supporting your position, but yet we have to come in with the full force of science to show you that you're wrong when you're not even going to accept the answer that we give you. You're not going to accept that you're wrong about God being needed for us to fucking breathe. We could explain to you how the lungs work, how oxygen is fed into our bloods, why oxygen is necessary for, our bodies, our muscles, our cells, our brain. We could explain everything like that to you because we know these things, but you're still not going to accept them because you have God as an explanation.
But the life, the eternal life, is forever. See, and they don't believe. I don't know. They might not believe that either. I mean, I just don't get it. I just let me know in the comment section what you guys think of why people don't believe in God. Why? Is this, are they discouraged with religion, or I don't know. Some people have bad things happen to them. They have bad things happen to them, and and they think that they don't understand why the bad things happen to them, and they get upset. And sometimes they get angry with God, or people lose family members, or they lose loved ones, and they don't understand why, and they get mad and they blame God for taking their loved ones, or some bad things that happens to them. They don't understand why, they don't they don't have any Bible knowledge, and they don't understand why. So they blame God for it, I don't know. But I think, well, if a God does exist, why is all these bad things happening and stuff? But if they would take the time to read their Bible, but some people don't believe in the Bible.
Well, yeah, I think that if the only thing that you're going to do is come an atheist with the Bible, you're going to find a very unconvinced audience. That's because we've considered the Bible. Most people have been Christian. Okay, so in the United States, I would say most atheists have been Christian at one point. And I know I was Christian for 25 years. I wasn't as deep like Jehovah's Witness deep in God's asshole, but I was Christian, and I went in and out of a very deep faith, right, in God, to the point where I found myself thinking, there's gotta be a grander plan for these things. Like every kind of crazy thing that's been thought, with the exception of the anti-science stuff, I've thought it, right? So I'm right there with you as far as thinking these crazy ass things. But you also have to understand that we have considered the Bible. And if all you're going to come at me with is, well, reading from bullshit 2932 here, it says God exists, motherfucker. That's not convincing. Uhan Roderick says, I have never had a faith, secular since birth. Woo! Way to go, Uhan. There you go. Gary White says, what the heck is this person on tonight? I want some lol. And Sonny the Corgi says hi to you and KC. Hey there, Sonny.
Oh my God, you've had too much vodka.
I have not had too much vodka.
You are barking at the string. You've had too much vodka.
I said hi to Sonny in 2 different languages.
No.
This is like pure intellectual at this point, okay?
No.
So what can you do with somebody like that? How do we even witness to somebody like that? Doesn't. I think they got it in one of our books. I had to go back and research that. hit me up in the comment section. Let me know, or if you yourself don't believe in God, or you know anybody that don't believe in God, or what do you think are the reasons why people don't believe in God?
Primarily evidence. We don't have evidence to support the conclusion that God exists. Also, I have to do this right now because I'm thinking about it and I'm a little drunk. Story time with G.E. So, this one time I was visited by these two Jehovah's Witnesses women. Right? They knocked on the door, opened up the door, and Jehovah's Witnesses women. I'm like, this is going to be fun. And so I talked to them for a good bit. I wasn't a dick, right? But I did bring up all of the horrible shit in the Bible about women, right? And so we talked for a pretty good while, like 30 minutes. My ex-wife now, she's pissed off and wanting me to just, let them go and everything because she hates everything. And I talked to them for a while and they're like, we'll come back. The same thing that happened with the Mormons, except the Mormons came back 3 times and then they're like, all right, this is the final time. And then we're just going to go. And I'm like, okay, fucking good. But anyways, the Jehovah's Witnesses women came back, but they had reinforcements in the form of a man. A black car pulled up to my driveway, pulled in, a man got out and was like, listen, come here to talk to you about Jesus. These women say that you're an atheist. And I'm like, yep, I am. Don't believe. Probably not going to believe what you got. And he's like, well, I just want to give you this pamphlet and be like, come to our service. And then I'm going to get in my black car and drive away. Goodbye. So I tried to talk sense into the women, but they ultimately rejected. And they ended up bringing reinforcements in the form of a elder guy, a man, and
Did you mansplain to those women?
I did not mansplain to them. I asked questions. I tried to tap my inner street epistemologist because I have a kind of a weird thing. Like I try to balance street epistemology with me like countering claims and shit. So I try to strike a balance there. And in this particular instance, it scared the women off, I guess. Like, holy shit, did you know about this verse? Because one of the verses I brought up was Leviticus, the Leviticus 20:13. And quite literally, I asked the woman, can you read that verse for me? She reads exactly half of the verse and then stops. If any of you know what the entire verse says, at the very end, it's like, their blood will be upon them. But she stopped at the very first part that says, hey, gay shit's bad, right? And then they stop, and I'm like, hold on. Let's finish that verse out, shall we? I don't know. I thought it was hilarious. That's it. That's all the story time with G.E. Daniel M says, also, when you did that, God woke my dog. Lol. All right, we're nearly done with this video.
Thankfully, because it's been an hour and a half.
I know.
I don't understand it. Or like if something bad, that's another question I have. It's something like if people that don't believe in God and they get sick, let's say they get sick and they get put in the hospital, maybe a life and death type situation. What do they do? At that point, do they start believing in God, or do they start praying? Or let's say,
no, we don't start praying to God. We start talking to the doctors. Now, I get it that Christians do this too, but they also pray to God. It always kind of fucks me up when somebody's like, I need your thoughts and prayers, but also this experimental treatment from this doctor that says it'll work. Like, it kind of gets me when people ask for prayers and their thoughts and everything like that. but then they also like get a doctor to give them medicine. Like it feels like if you're doing the thoughts and prayers and you're praying to God and all that, I feel like God should just snap a finger and make you well. Like that feels like what the answer should be. But it's like, oh, I'm going to pray to God, but in case that shit don't work and God has a plan for me to die, I'm also going to ask the doctor for medicine.
Or let's say they're getting attacked by somebody. What did they do at that point? Do they start believing in God then and instantly start praying to God?
No, I just poosh. I juke and I jive and I'll fucking fuck a motherfucker up is what I'll do. No, if I start getting attacked, I'll defend myself. Like I don't start believing in God. Like, yeah, what's God? What exactly is God gonna do about that shit? Like, I don't know, because like if a Christian gets punched, God's not doing shit about it. It's like if a Christian gets punched, does this woman think that they're just like, oh wait, God, please stop this guy, and then he keeps getting hit and shit. No, we don't start believing in God if we get attacked or anything. We fucking fight back. Also worthy of note is that is instinctual, the fight back, because it's actually freeze, flight, freeze, flight, or fight. There's three. The first instinct is to freeze, because everybody's vision is based on movement, including T-Rexes. But there's freeze, there's flight. So our next and immediate response, or at least from our lizard brain, our very primordial, instinctual part of our brain, is to run the fuck away, separate ourselves from the fucking situation, you know? And yeah. And then the third one is fight. That's our last option. If we can't lose them by staying still, if we can't lose them by fleeing the scene and getting away from them, putting distance between us, then the last option is to fucking fight, right? So at no point in those three steps is there a get on your knees and suck God dick. I'm just saying, like it's not gonna do anything for you.
You know, that's what I wonder too. People say they don't believe in God. Okay, if you don't believe in a God, when you go through trials and tribulations, what do? Because
fucking deal with it. Yeah, fucking take care of it. That's right. Lisa for Truth said it probably stops there in their Bible. But yeah, I mean, just fucking deal with it like any normal human person. Like, I don't rely on a God to do things for me or to give me strength or anything like that. I understand that the strength comes from within. Excuse me. The strength comes from within. I mean, I don't rely on a God. I don't immediately become religious just because I suffer some hardships. Like, oh shit, this project's really hard. Better pray to God that it just magically becomes done in the morning. That doesn't happen.
My niece, you know, as I had an old friend of mine, Caucasian lady that was a friend of mine back in the day, and she had two daughters. Well, she had more than she had two daughters, and she had more than two daughters, but. I was friends with her when she was carrying them and she gave birth and everything. So I call them my play nieces. And they call me auntie too, because I've been knowing them ever since they have been in the world. And one of them I have on Facebook, and she was saying how she didn't believe in God. And I'm like, huh? Now, I call her my play niece. But I've been knowing her ever since she's been in the world. So, she just had an accident, a a bad car accident. She just went through a bad car accident just recently. And I wonder what she had to go to the hospital and everything. And I wonder what she did at that point. I wonder, did she pray to God? Did she pray? Or did she,
I kind of feel like this highlights how some very, very devout people cannot see a world outside of their religion. Like, I listen to her speak, and the way that she makes her arguments of, like, well, who created these things? Who put these things there? It's almost like she cannot see or cannot imagine outside of her predetermined bubble. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a little drunk, but that just seems a little sad. Like, I struggle at times to really put myself in a believer's shoes.
If she can't see it, she needs thicker glasses.
If she can't see, she needs thicker glasses. I really try hard to put myself in a believer's shoes and try to see things their way at times. And I can't understand not seeing something in somebody else's shoes. Like understanding something in somebody else's shoes, because it's painfully obvious that she's never considered the idea that God couldn't exist or doesn't exist. Huh?
You said she's never considered, and I said school.
School. I mean, I just think that she's very deeply indoctrinated into her faith, so much so that she cannot see outside of her faith or of religion in general.
But you don't even have to go to fancy school or college to know these things.
Fancy? What is that, like MIT?
You just have to go to public school, elementary style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On Facebook, and everybody said, we're praying for you or whatever, but I wonder what she did when she had this bad accident. Did she pray? Did she all of a sudden start believing in God and start praying? So that's another thing I think about when people don't believe in God. Like, when something bad happens to you, what do you say? What do you do? Or you going through a trial? We all go through trials and tribulations. And when you're going through something, who do you call on?
Ourselves. We call on ourselves. We ask for help from people that are real. We ask for help from our friends, our family. What?
The lady says, who you gonna call? And Michelle Foster says, Ghostbusters.
Who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters! Oh, fuck. I fucked up my ukulele. Hold on. I gotta get my ukulele.
Did you break the string?
No, I didn't break it. I just got it off the notch. Ghostbusters! But in all seriousness, myself, my friends, my family, people that are real, that can actually help me. Those are the people that I call on. Not this ambiguous God idea that has done nearly nothing literally nothing for me my entire life, as far as I can tell.
I call my mama.
You call your mama? Well, that's what I mean. I call and I talk to people that I know are real.
That's a good question. Do they start praying? All of a sudden, do they magically start believing in God and start praying? Or that's what I don't understand about. I just don't understand that by people that say they don't believe in God. When you're going through something, who do you call on?
Thing
What?
is that she thinks these are good questions.
Yeah. Who you gonna call on? Ghostbusters! Because we gotta get that fucking Jesus out of here. He's like a goddamn cockroach.
So, if you got an answer to that, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know. My son is texting me, so I gotta find out what he wants. Be sure you hit the subscribe, like, and share button. Until the next video, peace and love. This is Sweet June.
This is Sweet June signing the fucketh out. Praise Jehovah, his dick tastes like candy. All right. So that's it for Sweet June. I meant to mention this earlier, but I forgot. If you're looking for the video, it is already in the description. If you want to refresh, you can do that. So I didn't really take a lot away from this video tonight. The main questions, it seems, was, well, why are people an atheist? And I answered that. But the reason why she thinks people should be an atheist are what seems to be the sun, breathing, waking up from sleep, the trees, animals, and what do you do when something bad happens to you? Those are the 6 reasons, the common reasons, it seems, in her long-ass video for why people should be religious and believe in God. So, if you wanted a summary, there you go. That's it. But we do need to get to the Skeptic Mafia comments, which I'm sure that there's a plethora of. We got to get to the Skeptic Mafia comments. If you don't know what the Skeptic Mafia is, it's the memberships here. If you want to be part of the Skeptic Mafia, just smash that join button or go to joinskepticmafia.com. You too can leave a comment and have it read live on the Friday night show before I pass out due to alcohol overdoses. Well, not overdose. I haven't drank that much. I've drank maybe half of my vodka, like half of the one bottle.
Also, if you're going to be racist on the channel, you're going to get booted, so don't fucking be racist.
Who was fucking racist?
I don't know, some asshat. But you don't get second chances.
I did silence one guy, was like, is Diet Coke DNA or some shit like that? Or is Diet Coke information or something? I don't know. I put him in timeout. Well, I technically hit him from the channel and then I unhit him, which ended up erasing his messages. So that was not my intent, though. Hey, hon,
What?
would you mind going to the held for review or the spam or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're held for review now. But
I got it.
okay. Anyways, if you're going to be leaving out right now, I really appreciate you guys joining us tonight. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for making this year great. You know, we couldn't have passed 50K without everybody that's watching plus some. And, you know, just have a great Christmas, because we're not going to be here next week, but have a great Christmas. Okay. I hope that you guys, have a happy new year as well. And I guess we'll just see you guys in a couple weeks. Yeah. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens. But wait, we're not done yet, because we have a Skeptic Mafia comments. What?
I just saw a held for review comment that says, "You ain't gonna analyze nothing today. Just shit through your mouth."
Oh man, you ain't gonna analyze nothing, just shit through your mouth. That's gonna go in a video of like comments that are recommending this channel.
I'll take a screen grab for you.
Okay.
There's no post ones held though.
Okay, good. All right, so we're gonna head on over to the comments right now. Maybe, possibly. Let's see what it does.
New member.
A new member?
Mm-hmm.
Who's the new member?
Kalst.
Koust?
Kalst.
Nice. Thank you so much, Koust, for becoming a Skeptic Mafia member. You are awesome, my friend. All right. First up is Uhan Roderick, who says, no. Smash, lick, share, jump, join, jump, skip, bop it. Merry Christmas. or your choice of what to insert here. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever, Yule, winter solstice celebrations in general. Happy those. Festivus for the rest of us. I've debated about doing a video where I do the airing of grievances.
That would be so fun, but also probably not a good idea.
Yeah. Fucketh all of you apologists.
Any of you who have seen the Skeptic Mafia podcast know it's probably not a good idea for me to air my grievances.
All right. Next, we got the Ruined Warrior saying she refuses to understand atheists and science. All she wants to do is live in her creationist bubble. I guess that comes from the cult mindset of the JW. Also, I don't think the JW elders would approve of what she's doing. I wonder what Owen Morgan would have to say about this. I don't know. I could ask him. We're decent friends. I've run out of vodka.
You do not need more.
Fuck. Thank you so much, Ruined Warrior. I will actually ask Owen Morgan about this because I am too curious, and
Go back to Uhan's comment. You skipped the last part.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry there, Uhan. P.S. Star Trek sucks, and Die Hard is the greatest Christmas movie of all time. I agree with everything that is said there.
Seriously, that's what I didn't even see what the fuck it was. I wouldn't have said anything.
We watched Die Hard last night.
It's
We
still
established that
No.
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
We did not. We didn't establish shit. You made unsubstantiated claims because there's fucking Christmas music in it.
Listen.
It's not.
No,
about
that's not what I
Christmas.
said.
It's
No.
not a Christmas movie because it's not about Christmas. It just happens at Christmas time.
I said a terrorist group takes over a Christmas party
It could be
to which
any
a super
party.
cop is visiting the Christmas party, and he saves the day for the Christmas party.
It could be any party. It's not about Christmas. It's about the terrorists. Not a Christmas movie.
You know, you can
It's
say
a
the same
Christmas-
thing about most of the Christmas movies that you fucking watch every goddamn year.
No, you cannot.
Christmas Switch, that could happen any time of the year. It doesn't have to be Christmas.
It's not called
Christmas
Switch.
Prince?
It's called Princess Switch.
Which doubly makes it not a Christmas movie.
Look, Die Hard is a good movie, but it's not a Christmas movie.
It is a Christmas movie as much as the Christmas Prince is.
What?
You can get married to a prince any time of the fucking year.
You know
Doesn't
what?
have to be Christmas.
There's only like 12 people in this world who could be married to a prince.
And of course, they only get married at Christmas because that is royal law.
Fucking accurate.
Hold on, I'm gonna do this. Hold on. Domestic disputes with GE.
And me.
I can just see it now.
One-sided conversation over there.
Huh? Domestic disputes with GE and KC. There you go.
Thank you.
I can just see it now. It's like, sir, we've heard about a disturbance over Die Hard. We understand your conflict. We can take her in now.
See what you started, Uhan?
Daniel M. To start, she seems like she is genuinely confused about why people don't believe in God. I would answer her, but it seems like she doesn't want to hear the answers. When she's asking about how the sun got there, then says not to give her that evolutionary fucking bullshit, not a quote. Never mind evolution has dick to do with how the sun got there. It just seemed to me like she doesn't want to know the process. As to how I wake up in the morning, I set my alarm on my phone. At 3:30, Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles comes on. and it wakes me up. I might fall back asleep for a bit, but that's besides the point. On the weekends, I wake up when I've had enough sleep. When I'm going through hard times, I call on my friends who actually care and want to help as best as they can. My family here. That doesn't take God. I absolutely agree that humans are the reason for a lot of shit going on. Global warming, spreading COVID, etc., etc. Anyway, humans can end a good amount of suffering by joining the Skeptic Mafia. If nothing else, you can show off your very own whale penis. That's right, those purple icons you see people putting in the chat, those are whale peens. They're 15 foot long, and they're awesome. They're also the only place, they only exist here on this channel, the whale penis. So you definitely want to get that whale penis emoji.
We've got a couple super chats. Do you want to get them after? And Wuhan.
Shit, where'd it go? Here it goes. All right, let's see. We got Jay Mixon, who says, Merry Christmas, and Wuhan, who says, I know what I did, and I don't regret it. Oh!
He's ornery. And thank you, Jay.
Yes, thank you so much, Jay. Jay even does super chats for the premieres. So I really appreciate you, Jay, for doing those premiere super chats too. Thank you. All right, let's get back to the Skeptic Mafia comments. Thank you so much, Daniel M, for your comment. And then Quentin said that he had a bit of a narrative. So Quentin, I just don't understand how people can't believe in the Bible. I can say the opposite of that. I don't understand how people can read the Bible and then believe it. There are conditions throughout it, and most of the quote-unquote historical parts have little to no outside backing. Now going one step farther than believing the Bible, worshiping God after reading it as he is the bad guy, you fuck up one tiny little thing, well, now your whole village might get fucked, but he loves you. And and in the New Testament, fuck up one tiny bit and get sentenced to an eternity of suffering. Once again, but he loves you. This is actually true. In the, I believe it's Exodus. I think it's in Exodus. Moses' brother, his sons get the wrong kind of incense or wrong kind of fire to light the incense. Aaron's sons gets the wrong kind of fire to light incense. And you know what God does?
Shoves fireballs up their asses.
He Hadoukens up their asses like Hadouken, and they fucking explode in a fiery ball of flames. What was their crime? Oh, they got fire from here when they were supposed to get fire from over there.
Hey.
Hey.
You learned him a lesson.
You learned them a lesson. I learned them good. They won't do that again, primarily because they're dead.
They're fucking dead, right? Yeah.
They're fucking dead. Yeah.
And nobody else will do it, and then they go and do it. But whatever.
Yeah, they keep fucking up. I mean, they fuck up all throughout the Old Testament. But you can hear that if you go to the dailybiblepodcast.com and listen to our podcast in all of its glory. Glory, more like a glory hole.
You don't want to know what glory means on the Daily Bible Podcast.
Believing in God is a bit different for me depending on how we define God, as I see how some may believe in one, but it'd have to be more of a God that just set everything into motion. And since then, it's just been watching all this like it's a movie. As for believing in a God like the Bible describes, that one is hard to believe. Holy hell, this is getting long, and I'm only 2 minutes in. So I would just watch the rest and try to make a short summary. Do they think that they are waking up on their own? Nope. Sometimes I need an alarm to wake me up. Otherwise, it's just chemical reactions. I have to agree with her that there is no such thing as evolutional theory. It's the theory of evolution, and it has nothing to do with the cosmos. We don't believe in God because there is no proof of one. We blame God for the bad shit because he is supposed to be all-powerful, omnibenevolent, and omnipresent. So he can stop the bad shit, and if you want to say, but the devil, well, then God can't be all-powerful if the devil can stop him from doing something. I can't speak for the young lady she brings up going through a bad car accident, but for me, when I had mine about a year ago, I wasn't thanking God I was alive. Hell, I knew if the Christian God were real, he would have made sure that it had killed me like it probably should have. Well, I try to keep it short. Whatever. This sums up my reactions. And it's a GIF, but I'm not exactly sure what the GIF is of. Oh, it's the Jackie Chan, like, ah!
But it's not a GIF.
Not a GIF, I mean an ASCII. It's an ASCII of a meme. Anyway, you'll make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button so the AI that rules over all of us here on this website will look favorably on GE. And remember to stand up and use your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Quentin. I appreciate you, man. Jonathan Nickel! What I see when I watch this video is a clear example of a Christian who asks questions of atheists but doesn't want to hear any real answers. She doesn't even understand how the brain will wake a person from sleep when it is rested. No conscious choice required. She knows nothing of physics, cosmology, or biology. She thought evolution had something to do with the origin of the sun, which she does not understand. She does not know that the stars are just other suns, so distant that they appear as specks of light in the night sky. On at least 2 occasions, she tried to reverse the burden of proof, asking us to demonstrate that Jesus does not exist. Something read that wasn't substantiated. The moment she said that, my thoughts turned to the Bible. I am sure hers turned to every book that wasn't the Bible. A lot of false religions. Not hers, apparently. My apologies to all true Scotsmen. She is not one among you. Also, why would an atheist blame God for anything? As for Satan, he is part of the same religion. We have no reason to think that Smeghead exists either. Species of animals. Now, we are back to the evolution that she doesn't want to talk about. Then she goes to look at the trees before repeating her earlier nonsense, then talking about an afterlife she can't demonstrate. If we were to end up in a hospital, I would put my trust in medical science. That is backed by demonstrable evidence, unlike the God she believes in. This is what happens when you don't learn and don't want to learn. She accepted the Bible and discounted anything she suspects might lead her to question it. Before I close, I would like to say, as an atheist, I wish you and Casey a very merry, secular Christmas. Thank you, Jonathan. We wish you a Merry Christmas too there, bud. Thank you so much for that. Michael W. Roble!
Shit.
I love his name. I don't know. I don't know why I turn into a wrestling announcer when I do it, but I love saying your name, Michael. Not much I can say here. This is just a sad example of what poor education and parasitic religions produce by the millions. All I want for Christmas is a way to reach these people. Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you so much there, Michael. Urban Imposter says, oh, nothing new. Slightly annoying, simple lack of evidence.
I was very annoyed.
Yeah. Michelle Foster, who burped earlier and made more sense than the video. Hey, I'm not going to be able to watch this before the stream, but I'm sure it's chock full of religious BS that they love repeating over and over again. You know, that isn't redundant and chock full of BS. Join in the Skeptic Mafia. Well, we get to see the BS ahead of time, but then it's actually kind of funny. 2020 is a struggle, but membership is tiered and affordable. But you know what's free? Subscribing to the channel and hitting that like and share button. Yay! I'm struggling to stay awake right now, so hopefully I'll see you guys later.
She's the most basic of all the basic bitches, and we love her for it.
Jonathan Handshake. P.S. Sorry. really sorry that I have to add this to in. I'm guessing you've never read the beginning of your holy book because there's so much death and destruction of life that I would be appalled to even call that deity loving. Yeah. Random Explorer says, "What the duck? Man, between the laugh and her creepy babies, I tuned out for a hot minute. Then I went back and started to watch it through. Nope, can't do it alone. That's why I came back to watch with the mafiosos. Hey, GE, this is where you go and chill it up a bit."
Can't do it alone. He needed emotional support. I need an adult.
Yeah, I need an adult. So, if you guys don't know, we put together a podcast here every single week, except for probably next week. We're probably not going to have one. But nearly every week, we have a podcast that goes up where we talk about current events. And this past week, we talked about bloody civil wars and Jesse Lee Peterson being a misogynist.
Oh my god.
That was this past week. That's just this week, guys. It's a pretty nice podcast. It's pretty similar to the Bible study podcast, just in kind of the visuals, but we just talk about different shit, mostly political and religious, like where the politics and religion kind of coincide. Yeah. So Drew's book reviews. I read a book once. It was full of fairy tales and magical tales. It was focused on this story of this ultra-powerful being who created a world and even people. The people had magical powers, but only a few of the people. This supreme being didn't want everyone to have these powers because they, too, would become powerful. Or wait, hold on. They would become too powerful. The book was split into two parts. First part was all about how the people came to be, and this powerful being desired to control his creation, mainly via threats of violence, war, pestilence, etc. The second part dealt with the powerful being's heir and son dying and sacrificing himself so the people could come to live with his daddy after his daddy destroys the world in the apocalypse. Hey, I remember this.
Like
What?
Elf?
Huh?
I'm here, Dad, and I love you from Elf.
Oh.
Sorry, Elf song.
It had a very convincing story, and I believed it for a while. But then I realized just how good a fantasy story it was. Since that day, I have learned to love all the fantastical stories without having to believe they are true. And to this day, I keep on reading, and you should too. Definitely, if you want good, book reviews, go to Drew's Book Reviews. He's got a great channel. It's just, you search for this, Drew's Book Reviews. There you go. Jonathan had a check again. This is the first time. Say, prove it. Shit, you do it first. I got $1,000 in the bank that says you ain't got shit. God's damn. I'm sorry, the only thing that wakes me up in the morning is loud noises and an alarm clock. There's no dipshit from the sky poking me in the asshole telling me to wake up in the morning.
I'm really glad I don't get woken up that way either.
I can just say it now. It's like, hey, poke, poke, poke. Get up, bitch.
Don't get any fucking ideas.
Don't get any ideas?
No.
Thanks for the great video. Hopefully you and KC are doing great this week. Personally, I've been on vacation for the past week, enjoying the mountains of Virginia and the Shenandoah Valley. Shenandoah? Yeah, I think I only pronounced that a little wrong.
I think it's Shenandoah.
Shenandoah? Yeah, he put it
Not
there.
Shan.
Oh, Shenandoah?
I'm pretty sure it's Shenandoah.
I either pronounced it right or wrong. I don't know. Hoping that the mafiosos are doing great with the BS that's going on nowadays. Did you guys hear about Jared Kushner? That shit's fucked up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hope you're having a great night or day, whichever side of the planet you're on. I most likely, since I won't see you, I'm hoping that you have a great holiday week and weekend. Hope you all have a great Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you there, Jonathan. Appreciate you being part of the Skeptic Mafia, man. Vanta Blue! Face palms. No, the burden of proof of something's existence does not lie with the one that says it doesn't exist. By her logic, anyone that thinks Nessie or Bigfoot doesn't exist needs to prove it. Otherwise, they need to be taken as real. I wonder if she believes in Nessie. I can't believe it if she doesn't. How else will she wake up? Oh yes, the sun evolved into being a big gassy giant in the sky. You know, normally that's how KC describes me. Totally part of evolution. I don't know much, therefore God. This woman is so indoctrinated, it's sad.
It is sad.
Yeah. Then we got Cadence. She says, how you think we waking up every day? An alarm clock, or just sunlight on days off. You're capable of not waking yourself up. Don't you judge me!
Don't you tell me what I can and cannot do.
That sounds like judgment, bitch.
Feels like a judgy space.
This is definitely a judgy space. How do you think the sun got in the sky? Does the sun just magically appear one day? Don't give me that evolution crap. I don't want to hear that. Of course not. Who the fuck says that? I ain't got time for that. Oh man. How the fuck does this lady think that we should hold on, sorry. How the fuck does this lady think that we think evolution is the reason for star formation and weather? How the fuck does she get out of bed? What wakes her ass up every day? She doesn't think it's magic, but she thinks it's totally magic?
Yeah.
That made all the insects and animals and trees and the sun and stuff. And now for ASCII from Chrismer. Boom. That is just an awesome... I love how it's a that face inside of a that face. I don't know what that face is, but it's just like a... I'm dying inside? Is that what it is? Because it feels like an I'm dying inside face.
Oh, you also have, after this one, you have a big Pioneer super chat.
Oh, okay.
Christmas said it's Lenny.
It's Lenny?
Lemmy.
Lemmy. Lemmy looks like they're dying inside. Insert 2 shillings here, one for me and one for Christmas. Hey, there's the podcast, but also, did you know that you get those sweet fucking emojis in the side chat? As well as those badges? You get an Illuminati badge the first month you join. And you get different badges for every month you stay. Well, the first 2 months are different badges. And then you get different badges the longer that you're a member.
But not every month.
Not every month. It goes 1 month, 2 months, and then I think like...
Sorry.
Huh?
I just did the count thing. Never mind.
Yeah. Got it. But you get badges. That's the important part.
Yeah.
All right, Alex Baranowski. Alex says, what the fuck is this shit? The first minute is some lady laughing about her dolls and talking about her fertility. This is an atheist house. I mean, no houses believe in God. They are inanimate objects. Why is she shocked some people don't believe in God? If she can't understand why people don't believe in God, she has some serious cognitive dissonance. She lost me at good, juicy sleep. That sounds nasty, doesn't it, Alex? I mean, fuck. I'm not sure where she's going with all this sleeping and sun coming into being, but it has nothing to do with God. They are all natural things, which can and do have natural origins. What also has a natural origin is the Skeptic Mafia. For a few dollars a month, you can be part of our club where you can get exclusive GE content and leave GE comments to read whenever you talk on air. Like, golden doodles are better than labradoodles. Don't forget to wash your filthy ass hands and cover your ugly ass faces with fucking masks. I mean, I don't know, honey. I kind of feel like you would have that opinion of some people that we see going around, like Alabama in general, and going to like our nail salon places where we both get manicures and pedicures. I get pedicures.
I just look. I feel like this is unrelated. I feel like if you have juicy ass sleep, you best wash your sheets.
Yes, juicy ass sleep definitely needs clean sheets. Cernian, I see, said, GE and KC, the both of you are the best. Thank you so much, especially considering that I'm pretty well drunk right now. And then we're probably going to watch some more of that Nailed It show on Netflix, which...
Oh my god, if y'all haven't seen Nailed It, the baking show, holiday edition, we were watching it and howling. It is so funny. So funny.
Y'all have heard Casey's laugh. You have not heard her laugh and like in a howling sense. It is just the best thing. Chrismer says that Lemmy's hard to explain. I'm gonna have to look it up on like one of those meme sites that explains it. Crap, it was Lenny. Oh, Lenny?
Oh, sorry, I thought he said Lemmy.
Oh, okay.
I thought Lemmy. Yeah, it says Lemmy. Chrismer and Derp Squirrel says Lemmy is hard to explain.
Lemmy? Oh, my eyes are
no,
fucked
sorry.
up.
Then they corrected it. Crap, sorry, it was Lenny.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I missed the later comment.
Sarnian says, GE, get that laugh.
Oh my god, it's so bad. Like, I couldn't breathe. I could not breathe. You have to go watch Nailed It. It's on Netflix. Just do it.
Yeah, but that's not going to let them listen to you lose it.
Well, that's true, but it'll make them lose it.
Oh, my super chat, or Big Sky Pioneer 2. So sorry. Big Sky Pioneer 2 had a super chat. Lethal Weapon has more Christmas in it than Die Hard, and who could forget old Satan Claus in Last Boy Scout? I actually haven't seen The Last Boy Scout. That's a Bruce Willis movie, if I'm not mistaken. I should really watch that. But also, I would agree that Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. The first scene in that movie that Mel Gibson is in takes place in a Christmas tree lot.
So what?
It's a Christmas movie.
No.
Yeah, it is.
If there's a scene in a movie that takes place in a pharmacy, does that mean that the entire movie is about a goddamn drugstore? No.
If we celebrated drugstores on that day, maybe.
No.
By the way, Uhan did a super chat.
Nobody
It says,
cares.
Die Hard, best Christmas movie ever. Fight me.
Nobody asked you, Uhan.
Vanta Blue says, Uhan Roderick, Home Alone. Another great movie that is Christmas.
Yeah, Home Alone's a Christmas movie.
And so is Die Hard.
No.
I will cut your mic off. Somehow.
Do it. Do it. I fucking dare you.
She says that because I won't do it. Let's see. Daniel M says, have you ever heard someone laugh while breathing in? I have done that exact thing. So yes, I have heard that before. Oh man. All right. So, we don't have any videos this weekend going out. Well,
Yes, you have one tomorrow.
Tomorrow we have one in the queue, in the pipe. I don't know if you guys know about G-Man.
They don't know.
G-Man is going to be defending biblical slavery tomorrow on the channel. He's already done it over on MathPig's channel. If you want to search up MathPig, he'll probably be the first channel listed. But we've already had the debate. It was on MathPig's channel, but we got a special little twist at the beginning of the video tomorrow that kind of introduces it. Kind of makes fun of me a little bit because I like doing that kind of self-deprecating thing. But we do have a debate with me and Dr. Josh from Digital Hammurabi, who is a doctor, an academic kind of doctor, on the Old Testament and he's a doctor. He's an Assyriologist. But he's also got some specialization in the Old Testament, Hebrew and stuff like that. He and I are going to be going against G-Man and Vackel, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be awesome. Tune in tomorrow morning. We are doing this.
It's about slavery in the Bible.
So, yes, slavery in the Bible. They're going to be defending biblical slavery, and we're going to try and defend, not defend, but establish that the Bible definitely supports, condones, endorses slavery.
And Dr. Josh literally wrote a book on it.
He did. He wrote a book on it. And don't mind me snorting just now. That happens when I drink.
You know?
Anyways, we're going to go right now because my feet hurt. I got to sit my fat ass down and play some Cyberpunk 2077 while we watch some Nailed It. So I will see you guys later. Don't forget to stand up, use your voice, all that kind of good shit. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We will see you in the new year. Y'all have a great rest of the year. Bye, heathens.